Toby, you're an art guy.
I am. I'm actually very interested in art. In fact, I just bought a few new things yesterday from a gallery in Alexandria, Virginia, where we used to live that we love. But I'm actually not interested as an asset class, right? So I personally, I think that's the wrong way to approach it. My wife and I, we buy art to enjoy it. We buy stuff we want to look at, and I have absolutely no expectation that anything I buy is ever going to be sold at a profit. I just assume it's stuff I enjoy, stuff I want to have, but it's consumption. It's not investment, right? That's kind of my issue with Masterworks, which is a cool idea. I love the idea, but it's along those lines, right? If I like gonna put my money into a piece of art, I want to be able to look at it and have it on my wall, or at least have some way to enjoy it, right? Now maybe if they could combine this with NFTs somehow, right? Like everyone who invests in a painting, it's an NFT. I don't know. I mean, I can always just hang a picture of it on my wall.
They've actually, I've listened to a couple interviews from some of their executives. They've been on a couple of podcasts that I listen to, and they're like, we're not touching digital art. We don't understand it. We're not.
Yeah. So I mean, I wonder, what do I get out of it, right? It's an investment, right? I'm putting money into a painting that I hope they sell for a profit. But that's just not my approach with art. So
that's exactly the approach they're taking. And I mean, I think that it's something interesting the way they're doing it, right? Because they are focusing on the areas of art where they see, like, where there've been the best recent returns, but also where they see clear demand for that kind of art. And they're trying to buy the good art, I guess, is the right.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I could see myself being an investor in the company, and it's interesting. I want to look at it more, but I don't necessarily ever see myself as a customer.
I love that, Toby. I think maybe that would be more fun.
Like if they went public. Yeah, that would be
right.
Yeah. You know what I think? This, and I've been convinced this for a while, but I'm pretty sure like the founder, like, it's like, I love art. I want all the art. I got to figure out a business where other people will buy art for me.
I mean,
that's basically it, right? Because
so do you think he's just sitting in his office surrounded by like all these Picassos and Monets and whatever? Like, this is pretty sweet.
Why wouldn't he be?
It's fair.
I mean, who wouldn't want that? I don't know. I feel like this just very much depends on like what your goal of investing, with this platform is. If you're like me, I'm focusing in terms of like building my long-term portfolio. I'm focusing on equities, but I also happen to be really interested in art. I love the idea of owning a piece of history, or a little bit of it. So like for me, that would be more of like, this is a fun thing, not so much something that I would at least initially expect to profit off of, but kind of a fascinating business model.
I think it's a great way to scratch that itch too, to your point, right? So investing to me shouldn't just be about making money, right? That needs to be an important part of it, but are you learning, right? And if there's an area that you're really interested in, it's worth checking out. I think so.
Now, the other thing too that I think we should point out, right? We started this topic with, the comment on Christie's auction house, right? In their record year. I think it has the reputation of being a place where they sell these $1 million pieces, right? Which is out of reach for normal people. But they do auctions where they're selling pieces that are a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're a normal person, you can go to their website, you can look at the upcoming auctions, you can look at stuff that might be interesting to you. And you can have some of these old paintings. I think they're doing a 19th century art auction in a couple of weeks. Some of the estimates there are anywhere from, I think, like $5,000 to $10,000, $20,000. So still expensive, but not like beyond the level of modern art by a current living artist that you might buy, depending on who they are. So it's not just these headline, look at what sold for 15, 20, 30, $50 million, right? It's like just stuff that a normal person who likes art could be interested in. So it's something to check out, I think.
That's cool. Yeah. I think to me, this asset class doesn't fill a bucket, right? That I feel like I need it to fill. In terms, like, I don't thinking about like uncorrelated assets, thinking about assets that can, we're talking about Bitcoin with inflation, right? So Bitcoin to me is the hedge against inflation. That's how I think about it for my portfolio. I don't know. I guess I just think more like real estate is an asset that I'm more interested in because it's one that I can see it generating an income, that kind of thing. So, very interesting. There's no doubt about that. I'm unless my son becomes very interested in art, which he may, I'm kind of I kind of have the feeling that the art that myself and my wife acquire is just a bunch of stuff that he's going to have to get rid of at a yard sale when we eventually die. Right. I think that's what's going to probably happen. But we buy stuff like art. I love to buy things from local artists that I can talk to and hear their story about the art that I think is cool. And that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Maybe I'll be like Toby Rich one day and I could, buy expensive art. So, Toby's not responding.
Oh, I'm responding, Jason. My art is not expensive. Hey, you know what? If you save your money, if one of these many companies you invested in gets memed, you want to exit the high point and go buy yourself a $5 million piece from Christie's or something, right?
There you go.